Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I'm here in my under construction neighborhood where I typically practice. But today we're going to take a ride over to Cycle Gear and pick up a rotor lock so I can park this bad boy and not have to worry about it. Getting wheeled off, got the fork covers added on. Bike looks great. But yeah, today as we ride, I'm going to go over some observations I've made as a new rider. And otherwise, yeah, let's just enjoy the ride. Alright, so right off the bat here, observation number one. The most difficult thing about riding so far for me has been moving from standstill to first. I'm getting better at it. That was pretty smooth there. But that's a scenario that obviously is going to come up over and over again as you ride. Been out on the road quite a bit now, and yeah, definitely want to master that first. Stalling at intersections is not only awkward, it can be pretty dangerous. So really get that down. All right, second observation. This is the perfect time to go over this here at an intersection right now. Right. Do not sleep on controlled environment exercises. In an empty neighborhood here, under construction by my place, didn't have to take a public road to get here, so I didn't have to go through any kind of dangerous traffic situations as a beginner. I spent so many hours on here, or in this neighborhood, just going through different exercises, practicing turns like I'm doing now, driving up and down this street I'm about to go on the left, practicing rev matching and shifting up, shifting down, emergency stops, and then more importantly, slow speed maneuvers. Right? Another really difficult thing about riding is throttle control in first gear. Incredibly difficult from what I've found so far, for me anyway. I come down here and I just kind of book it. Still keeping an eye out for traffic. Anybody can still drive through here, but it's pretty rare. But I'll book it, come down here, right, nice controlled environment. I can practice kind of getting a feel for the bike and turning. I'll rev it up here, and then I know I'm going to stop at this intersection, so I'll go ahead and hit the brake. And then I'll downshift, rev match, right, practice that. All in here, get really comfortable with the bike. Then I'll come over here, and I'll go real slow here. We got somebody over here today. Normally this is empty, but I'll drop it into first. And then I'll just do some slow speed maneuvers, get used to trusting the bike as I lean, how it feels when I turn the handlebars. When I feel like I'm gonna fall over, know that that's not gonna happen. You can see some of my tire marks here from coming over here repeatedly. Staying in first gear, do some in and outs here. They're doing the driver test, right? Some figure eights. This one always gets me. I always want to get my foot off the bike, but you really gotta trust the bike here. Alright. Do those slow speed maneuvers, don't sleep on them, and that stuff comes up all the time on the road, I've noticed. All these YouTubers telling you to practice them, they know what they're talking about, they have years of experience. Definitely worth doing. It's made me feel way more confident on the road. And I know it can be hard. When I first got shifting down, I wanted to get out there so bad and just let it rip. That new rider confidence, right? But no, definitely put your hours in this neighborhood. To put your hours in a controlled environment, be it a parking lot or an empty neighborhood like this, or even in your own neighborhood, just watch out for cars pulling out of their driveways or parking spots. But get down the simple stuff first, right? Slow speed maneuvers, shifting down, shifting up, and moving out of an intersection from a stop. All things I would definitely get down before you even consider touching the road. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm only a week and a half into riding, actually, but I have put in the hours here in that week and a half. At least an hour or two every single day in this neighborhood. getting that stuff down. So definitely practice, don't just jump on the bike. And so that's that observation there. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the road here. Head on over to cycle gear. The traffic should be pretty busy, 5 o'clock. So this will be good practice. I'm gonna go left here. All right, so while we're sitting here, observation number 2, you can see I'm giving these cars a lot of room here. I'm confident I'm not going to stall out in this intersection, but I do recognize I'm still a beginner, right? So just pace yourself in your learning. Don't get overconfident, and allow things to come to you. There's no need to rush, put yourself in a risky situation. This brings me to my next thing that I've noticed as I've been out in the road. And this may be an obvious one, but cars do treat you very differently than they do when you're driving a car yourself. Yeah, I've definitely already had my, they're not close calls by any means, but I've had folks be late to see me already, start pulling out in the middle of an intersection. Part of it's probably my own paranoia as well as a new rider, scared of getting hit, right? So I'm more sensitive than maybe I would be in a car. But yeah, cars definitely treat you differently, it seems. I think in the first ride video I posted, someone pulled out in front of me at a gas station. Didn't even look my way, so, you know. Cycle gear, about 15 minutes from that neighborhood I practiced in. Should be a nice little ride here. We'll take all local roads. Could hit the highway, but keep it chill today since I'm chatting on the bike. I saw that big rock in the middle of the road there. Another observation I made, and I hear this all the time in videos, the bike will certainly go wherever you're looking. So when you see those obstacles, when you're going into a turn, the bike will follow your head. That is so true. It's kind of hard to explain how or why it happens. I mean, I guess, you know, it makes sense that your body would naturally follow your train of thought and where your vision is. But yeah, you really got to let go, kind of micromanaging the motorcycle and let your mind kind of take the wheel, if you will. And I will say too, I've had my moments where I've gotten some of that target fixation on turns. Again, in my first, that new rider video I posted, that my first ride in public, I had a really wide turn that I got some target fixation on. It's easy to do, believe it or not. I'm gonna get myself an out here. Yeah, my shifting from stop to first has been getting better. I think I need to just slow down the release of the clutch a little bit. Also recognizing too kind of where the throttle starts has been helpful as well. That intersection over there is super sketchy. A lot of accidents happen there. You can see how backed up it was already. Rush hour is just getting started. Hey man, riding has been so much fun. I'm so glad I got into it. Such a freeing experience, and yeah, the road hasn't been nearly as scary as I thought it would. Definitely trying to avoid that new rider overconfidence. I feel like I'm doing a good job of that. Just staying within reason here. I mean, just being aware of kind of who's around you. Anything can happen at any moment, you know. Wear your gear at all times. Just observe what's happening. There's a car at that intersection up there. I'm behind this truck. I don't know if they see me, so I'm gonna roll off the throttle a little bit here. Everybody standing still, so we're gonna go. Just trying to do stuff like that. Be mindful of what's going on. Don't just fly through intersections. Can't be overconfident. And yeah, this reminded me of my next point. Kind of weird talking about this while I'm on a bike, but when you start riding, everyone you care about, everyone that cares about you, people that don't care about you, they're going to tell you when you tell them that you ride how you're going to die, how they knew someone who died, how they saw on the news someone died, how they hope they don't get the phone call, right? Hey, anything can happen on a motorcycle. I know that for most of these people that concern is coming from a good place. Probably better ways to go about it than saying things like that. But yeah, just be ready for that. Be ready for that when it does happen. I like to kind of joke back with folks and say, don't get too excited. Or, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Right? At the end of the day, if you take the MSF course, if you take precautions, if you wear gear, if you follow traffic laws, you are tilting the odds in your favor, is how I like to view it. Any precaution you take, any training you go through, any parking lot drills and slow speed maneuvers you do to help you feel comfortable on the bike, you're tilting the odds in your favor every time you're doing stuff like that. And when you break down the numbers, I don't have them off the top of my head, but I believe 7% of motorcyclists get into an accident annually. And then of that percentage, good, I think 0.5% of them, or 0.5, half of them are alcohol-related incidents. Turn left in front of you here. Half of them are alcohol-related incidents. Another good chunk of them are from a rider's 6 months, first 6 months of driving. So, needless to say, when you slice and dice the data, if you take precautions, if you don't act like an asshole, if you learn defensive driving and you take the MSF course, you wear proper gear, you practice your slow speed maneuvers, that percentage really starts to dwindle down, you know, into the 2 to 3.5% range, you know, off the top of my head here. Needless to say, this car driving behind me can come ram me and kill me right now, right? You know, you never know what could happen. But same can be said for, you know, just driving a regular car. So if you really feel like having the argument with folks, you can whip out those statistics. But I would just say to learn to brush it off, because it's, without fail, everyone is going to tell you, you know, you're gonna die. And also just know too, most of the time it's coming from a good place. They care about you. Here in downtown Garner, North Carolina. This area has grown a lot over the years. Here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to the Carolina Hurricanes. Bringing home the cup. Incredible performance against the Vegas Golden Knights. You all are hockey fans, but let's see, man, Carolina's goalie is a monster. What a great story. So happy for those guys, man. Here. All right. Another observation I've made too with gear, I don't hear this often said by the gearheads, but wearing your gear is good for obvious reasons, right? If you go sliding, you want to save your skin. Probably a good thing to be wearing gear, right? In general, protect those vital organs. But I feel way more confident on the bike when I'm wearing my gear. I feel like it's not in the back of my mind that if I go sliding, my skin's gonna fall off. So I feel a little safer, a little more willing to focus on the road as opposed to focusing on falling. So underrated element of gear. Wearing proper gear allows you to focus a little better, has allowed me to focus a little better at the task at hand. So wear your gear, folks. I've done some low speed maneuvers and some cruising around my neighborhood in a t-shirt, and I totally get it, man. It feels fucking awesome. Have that wind, especially on a hot day, have that wind blowing on your arms. But yeah, you gotta wear that gear, folks, unfortunately. I mean, I feel like I look pretty cool in my gear. This Revit jacket. This Revit jacket is also pretty cool. There's a lot of ventilation when I'm moving, which is nice. I wore it in a 100-degree heat the other day, and when I was riding, I felt fine. When you're at a standstill that it gets you. As a new rider, man, I'm really glad that I started with the Honda Rebel 500. Not only is it a beautiful bike, I'm so proud of it. When I'm riding around, I feel like such a fucking badass, especially with the black on black look. But it's just so easy to control, man. I sat on some Harleys the other day. I really like the Lowrider STs. I think eventually I'll maybe get one of those, or the Indian Chief Nighthawk I like a lot as well. It's my graduation bike. But yeah, I mean, this bike has been fantastic, man. It's such a good bike to learn on. I feel in control of it. I don't feel like it's gonna run away from me. Easy to get a grasp on the throttle, powerful enough to have fun, but not powerful enough for me to get caught up in a moment and do something incredibly stupid. I mean, I guess technically it is, but not hitting 100 on this one, I guess is what I'm trying to say. As a new rider, hype is real. This bike is great. I actually think this is my 1 week anniversary from the first time I rolled around my neighborhood. go, something to celebrate here. We're cruising now. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, I could drop down here. Not realize the speed limit was 45. There you go, perfect example of why the Rebel 500 is good for beginners. If I was riding my Indian Chief Dark Horse at 60 I was doing, probably would have been 80. But yeah, from one new rider to another, a tip: spend time watching YouTube videos. Dan the Fireman, Josh Hart, Brandon Hart. Excuse me. Yami Noob. All have some great content. Their new rider videos are freaking awesome, man. You could really learn mentally how to, I mean, there's no substitute for sitting on the bike, but you could really learn mentally how to ride a motorcycle by watching those guys, you know, repeatedly. We're pulling up on Cycle Gear here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, let me know what you think of my takeaways here.